failing ever in academics. Like, I had never failed a course. Like, what's that? Like, we don't do that over here. Hello everyone, my name is Gloria and you're welcome back to my channel. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who watched my previous video and for all of the wonderful comments that you left behind. I wanted to say thank you. It was my last day as an obstetrics and gynecology house officer, and I moved on now. Video of where I've moved on coming soon. But yes, thank you for watching it. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe right now. Like, I'm waiting for you to subscribe. Okay, we finished. Okay, now you hit the notification bell. It's a tiny bell that is right by. Just hit it. Okay, now you're ready, you're set to watch this video. So let's get into it. From the title, you should already know what this video is going to be about, and I'm going to be discussing in this video and talking about a bit of a medical school experience. Where do we start from? So, growing up, there were lots of things that I don't want this video to be long, so I'm just going to go right into it. So, growing up, something that I struggled with was low self-esteem. So, I really had low self-esteem. I didn't think of myself as much, and one of the main things that characterized my low self-esteem was just how I viewed myself, like physically. I thought I was ugly, and I'm talking about like primary school JHS period, so that's up to about 13 years old. I genuinely thought I was very ugly. I thought I was very unattractive, and so because of that, I felt like I needed to have a backup. I felt like I needed to have something else to hold on, because I felt like everyone had something and everyone had beauty, or everyone was attractive, and I didn't have anything like that. So what else can I have? School. And so I was doing well in school. I wasn't like first or anything, guys. No, I'm not going to come and lie. I was not first, but I did well in school. I did okay in school. No, I wasn't average. I was above average. That's just the truth. And so because I did well in school, I felt like my academics was the one thing I had going on for me. And so, I mean, I finished JHS, I wrote my BC, I made all ones. Oh my God, there's some noise around, so pardon. I'm gonna try to talk as loudly as I can so that the noise doesn't interrupt too much. So I made all ones when I wrote my BC, and then I went on to my SHS, which is Holy Child School. Any Hobsons here, just comment down below if you're a Hobson. Factor not verbal, actions not words, and that's on period. And no, serious, that's just it. And in secondary school as well, I did well in school. Like I said, I wasn't first or anything, but I did well in school. I got good grades, and I always wanted to be a doctor. So I applied to go into medical school, and I actually got into medical school. So I was like, "Woo, go me!" Like, I was very happy. I was like, "Yeah, thank God, I'm in med school now." And we started med school. So my first semester was okay. It was chill. I mean, I was a fresh uni student. I was happy. I was enjoying campus life and all of that. And then my first semester results came out, and it was pretty okay. It was decent. I didn't do badly. I mean, I wasn't like on top, but it was fine. It was genuinely okay. And then second semester came. Second semester was actually quite tough. It was definitely more difficult, but I mean, I thought I was on top of it until our results came out. So this was the second semester, and usually the second semester in universities in Ghana is the long, like the break after the second semester. It's a long break. If you go on vacation for about 2 to 3 months, I'm not quite sure, I can't remember, but it was like 2 to 3 months of break. And so during the first year, you're supposed to do something that we call clinical. No, it's not clinical school. It's called nursing training. So it's just to teach you the nursing skills. Even though you're in med school and you're going to be a doctor, you still need to learn some basic nursing skills, and so it's something that is required for you to do for a month. So I remember that vacation when I went, I think I relaxed for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Then I sent my letter. I did it at Ridge Hospital, and then I went to Ridge. I submitted my letter and I started. So I was actually doing my nursing training when we found out that one day after work, found out that the results were in. So I was actually in a Trotsky when I think my friend messaged me, or I don't know, it was either on our class page or something, that the results to the second semester examinations were in. So I was like, okay, let's check. So you know how, once you're checking, okay, I don't know about you, but there's never a result that I'll be checking and I won't be nervous. Like, no matter how well that the exam went, I'm going to be nervous. So I was nervous, I was just like, oh my god, that kind of thing. And then I went onto the website, put in my student ID and password and all of that, and then my results loaded. And I started scrolling. And then I'm like, what? So right by the course Biochemistry was a D. Guys, I failed. I had failed Biochemistry. And the sad thing is that I failed by 1 mark. So I was 1 mark away from hitting the pass mark. For med school, our pass mark was 50. Correct me if I'm wrong, my classmates, if you're watching this, please, it was not 50. I think it was 50. And I got 49. And I did not even know how to react, because it was my first time failing ever in academics. Like, I had never failed a course. Like, what's that? Like, we don't do that over here. We don't fail in academics. I was genuinely shocked that it was my result, and I actually needed to resit, and then I actually needed to take the exam again. And I was genuinely shocked, because I'd never experienced something like that before. I remember I started to cry in the church row. So the church row for my non-Ghanaian watchers is a commercial bus in Ghana. Yeah, I said my non-Ghanaian watchers because we're going global. But honestly, guys, I was actually really sad. I started crying, but not like weeping kind of crying, but my eyes were definitely tearing. And I remember I think at the time I was texting my friend. Shout out to you, Bennett. So I was texting Bennett at the time when I checked my results. So I told him, because I was so shocked, I had to tell someone. I told him, I don't remember what he said to me, but I know he did make me feel better. So Bennett, if you're watching this, thank you for being an amazing friend. And I went home, and I went to proper cry at home, because I couldn't disgrace myself in the car. But when I went home, I just went to my room and I cried. That, in fact, it wasn't like I just cried on that day. That entire week I cried, and I didn't tell anyone at home. I told them much later. If my friends are watching this, I'm sorry. I told them eventually, but I just needed time, by myself, to process it, because it was that devastating. And I know someone watching this might say, why being so extra? Why so extra? It's just a course that. But guys, you have to take into context that I'd never failed in a course before. I'd never failed in an exam before. I'd never done badly in my academics. So I was reflecting on, because I was really in a very reflective state, guys. I was completely down and in a very reflective state. And then I began to realize how much worth I had placed in my academics. God just opened my eyes to see that, yes, so you've actually been placing a lot of worth in academics. And that takes me back to what actually started this story with, about how I saw myself as ugly. And so the one thing that I had going for me was my academics. And so when I failed in that exam, it was like I was standing under a rug, and someone just pulled the rug out under my feet, and I just fell. That's just how it felt. That's just the best way to describe it. I was completely crushed, and I felt like I was not worthy. I felt like I had no value, because it's it was like I had placed so much value in my academics and in the fact that I do well in school, that subconsciously, when it had taken so much root in me. And so Even though I mean, I did not, at that point in my life, I did not see myself as ugly, like, by that time, but it was still something that needed to be addressed, about what are you placing your worth in. And that's just the question that God asked me, like, what are you placing your worth in? And I'm asking you today, what are you placing your worth in? Are you placing it in your job? Are you placing it in your academics? Are you placing it in your family? Are you placing it in your money? Like, what are you placing it in? Because if you are not placing it in God and in Jesus and who Jesus sees you to be, and the fact that you are a child of God, and the fact that Jesus died for you, like, I'm sorry, but it's not worth it. That sounds funny, but yeah. And so God really just needed to address the fact that no, like, you actually cannot even rely on your academics anymore to prove your worth to the world. Like, no, that's not how it works anymore. And it's a lot of lessons from that, but this has to be like one of the chief lessons from that. Thankfully, I mean, I took my academics like way, like, seriously, if you're in medical school, and trust me, no matter how smart you are, I mean, there are people who are like extremely, even in medical school, there are people who are extremely smart, but like the regular smart person in medical school, trust me, it can get really tough. And so I had to really like put in more work. But for me, it really exposed me, and it really exposed how I see myself, what I was placing my worth in. And I didn't, if someone had told me that, oh, like, you place your worth in your academics, or like your academics is what is what makes you feel good, it was what I would have said, no. But when I failed, it's like, that's when I really realized, and it was painful, it was really painful, but low-key grateful for that lesson. Do I wish I went through it? No. Like, honestly, guys, the feeling of failure is not nice. It's really not nice. But I'm thankful, and it's like, since then, genuinely speaking, it's like I've been very conscious about what I place my worth in. And even as I'm a doctor right now, I don't place my worth in the fact that I'm a doctor. I don't place my worth in the prestige that comes with being a doctor, which is not even. But anyways, that's a message for another day. But I don't place it in the fact that I'm a doctor. I really don't, because anything can happen. God forbid. But people's licenses get revoked. But God forbid, my license will not be revoked. But I'm just saying that things happen. Whatever you think you're holding, whatever you think is of value to you, it can be gone in a day. It can be gone in a second. Like, you can lose it all. So it's a very risky thing to place your worth in anything. The only thing that is sure is God. The only thing that is sure is Jesus and his sacrifice for us, and who we are, and our identity in Christ. That is the only thing sure. And God says that, do you not know how precious you are? Do you know that you're, do you not know that you're of more value than the sparrow? I feed the sparrow, I clothe the flowers, I clothe the trees, all of these things. Like, how much more you? And that just shows the kind of value. Like, obviously, most of the time, people quote that verse in relation to, like, God's provision. But it also really talks about God's value and how he sees you, the value that God places on you, not God's value, but your value that God places on you. And so I'm just going to end it here. Honestly, I think I'm done saying what I'm saying. I genuinely hope that I was not all over the place, and that I made some sense, and that if you're watching this, that you learned something from this experience that I had. And I know that it might not only be Christians that are watching this video. I don't know what you believe in. I don't know what your faith is in, but try Jesus. Like, the value that Jesus places on you, that he came to die for you, he came to die for your sins, and he rose up so that you can have new life. And so just know that the precious blood of Jesus Christ was slain, was poured for you, and that's the only thing that can truly give you value. That is your value, and no one can ever take that away. And so, yeah, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please comment if you've also had any experience or anything that kind of just made you realize what you had placed your worth in, and that you placed your worth in something that was not God, or someone that was not God. Maybe it may have been a relationship, maybe someone became your everything, but whatever it is, just let's engage in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. So I'm actually filming this after I finish the video, but I'm gonna insert it. So I also wanted to just encourage anyone who might actually not be like doing well in school, and maybe you're in med school, or even it doesn't matter if you're not in med school, whatever course you're doing, and you might probably be struggling or having a hard time with your academics. I know what it feels like to fail an exam. I know that it can be very painful, but I just want to encourage you that don't give up. Just learn the lessons that you have to learn, and just keep working hard. Just think about how you can think about the flaws and maybe the way you're studying. Like, think about, like, just be practical about some of these things, and think about how best you learn, and try to adapt and fit in more of those ways of learning into your schedule. But don't let it deter you. Don't let it make you feel like you're any less worthy, because you're not. Your academics do not define who you are. And so I just want to encourage anyone who is feeling that way right now, or that you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Take that exam again, take that test again, and pass. All right.